The Tile Roofing Industry Alliance presents How Wind Uplift is Calculated According to ASCE 716. First, you need to have the following information for the building, the roof, and the tile. You'll need to know the design wind speed, the building width and length, the exposure category, and you'll need to know the roof style, whether it's a gable or hip style roof, the roof slope, the peak and eave heights to calculate the mean roof height, the profile height of the tile, whether it's high, medium, or low, the tile ratio, which is provided by the manufacturers or are in their product approvals, and the installation method of whether it's installed on battens or without battens. You can find the wind speed specific to any project in the United States free online from either ASCE or AT Council at the websites listed here. Using ASCE's hazard tool, simply enter the building location, either using the address, zip code, latitude or longitude, or find on their interactive map. Then select the correct version of ASCE standard, depending on the building code that's in force for your location at that time. Then select the risk category, 1, 2, 3, or 4. 1 is for unoccupied or negligible risk buildings if the building were to fail, such as a barn or storage shelter. Risk category 3 or 4 is for significant risk buildings if they fail. So hospitals, theaters, warehouses of hazardous substances, any place that has a lot of people and if it were to fail could cause significant harm to people. Most tile roofs are typically risk category 2, either they're residential or commercial or industrial buildings. So 2 is typical for most tile roofs. ATC's hazard tool works in a similar fashion. Enter the address or the location and find the wind speed for the risk category that's appropriate. How a building is exposed to direct wind determines its exposure category. Exposure D is where a building is directly exposed to high winds, such as near an ocean or in a large plain or a large lake. Exposure B is where the building and roof is well protected by surrounding objects such as other houses or other buildings or forests, and so they don't have significant direct wind. Exposure C is where it's partially exposed, so that includes all buildings that are not either D or B. Knowing the roof style is also important, whether it's a hip style or gable style. Find the mean roof height by adding the height at the eave from the ground and the height at the peak or the ridge from the ground, adding those two values together and dividing by 2. Tile profile heights are divided into high, medium, or low, as you see here. You also need to know the tile dimensions or the tile ratio. And the dimensions that are needed to be known are the exposed width and the total length. Exposed width is the width of the tile that's exposed when it's installed. So it doesn't include any overlap. That's not the case with the length. You need to know the complete length, the total length of the tile, even what's overlapped. And you take both of those dimensions and they're measured in feet, not inches. So you need to convert dimensions that are typically provided by the manufacturers in inches and divide by 12 to get those measurements in feet if you're going to perform the actual calculations themselves. Instead, however, you can use a much simpler method using the tile ratio in conjunction with using the TRI installation manual. The tile ratio is a simple adjustment factor for the tile size. So the larger the tile ratio, and it adjusts the dimensions, or the values rather, from the tables in the TRI manual to your specific tile. The smaller the tile ratio, and the lower the uplift or overturning moment values will be compared to a larger tile, which will have a larger tile ratio and higher overturning moment values. If you have any questions, please contact the TRI at tileroofing.org, or you can contact any one of the tile manufacturers by doing a web search for their name and finding their contact information. Thank you very much.